said, a lot of aggressive play come out of them, but we are loaded in to the first map of this best of 5 here to finish off the round of 32. It's the last series of round of 32. In the bottom left, we have Invictus Gaming's Ayasonu.
Now the Chinese player here in this tournament looking to take an upset against this player in the top right, the blue Zerg. It is TLO.
And I think one of the coolest things that we haven't really talked about too much, mostly because, you know, obviously Apollo can't live up to Chobra and Red Eye on the desk, but,
yeah,
you know, the regional representation that's been at this tournament, we're starting to see where the players coming from, you know, the Oceanic region are kind of heading. You know, we had Pig knocked out, you know, the American players. Okay, so Kelzer is out of the picture now, but you still got Neeb to look at, you still got Huck to look at, and you know, Ayasonu comes here, he's representing the Chinese scene, he's bringing that pride forward. So it's kind of like an interesting thing when we look at how WCS has developed because, you know, unlike many of these major tournaments over the last few years, we really get to have, with the way that the qualifier formats work, a much more wide representation across the globe for StarCraft.
Yeah, and even myself coming from Korea, you know, the Koreans are not allowed over here, but it doesn't matter. I feel like there's so much hype for these tournaments now. You get these certain regions coming out here representing their countries, and when they get an upset, you know, there's so many people behind them, and it's so crazy, you know. And, you know, Ha's already going through, the Taiwanese player, and if Ayasonu could pick up an upset here, that would be insane. A huge representation from that region of the world. Yeah,
I think it's just one of the cooler things to follow, and especially you look at TLO, you know, one of the other biggest German players already eliminated from the tournament, Showtime, which has been a banner carrier for Germany for quite some time, and also obviously really awesome to see that we have a couple players that will be playing on the main stage for Poland as well, you know, in a laser, and awesome to see those guys, Nurchio as well. So for this Zerg versus Zerg, it's going to be just a straight-up speed opening, it looks like, from Ayasonu. In Shigua's games yesterday, I got to see them versus Violet. You know, Chinese players really like the hyper-aggressive Ling Roach, or, you know, opening up with a lot of greed. Not seeing that this game. It's going to be a quick Baneling Nest with this.
Yeah, just going with that. On to base. We'll see if he does put out any other aggression here. Just going to take his third base. Meanwhile, back at TLO's base, he is getting that gas slowly. I think he put 2 drones in there, but no speed just yet. Just waiting it out. Maybe he's looking to tech up a bit here, but definitely going to have the advantage. I do believe he does have that third hatchery coming out here faster, and he is going to have the safe Baneling Nest as well.
Yeah, and that's usually one of the biggest things to worry about. Like, the Chinese players are, from my experience, never were the guys in Heart of the Swarm that were just going to open without gas. Like, they're pretty much always going to get speed. You know, it won't just be Ling, Bane, but you'll often see the Roaches mixed in. So it's hard to be super safe against it because you don't obviously want to get caught off guard by anything. But TLO throws a couple Lings in, so he can kind of see, he's like, okay, your Baneling Nest is ready. It's in your main, not super tricky. You have your natural. The third hatch is coming in, so it's not like some sort of pseudo 3-base play when, you know, he's not going to not have to worry about like that third being saturated possibly.
Yeah, that was just a couple of really important Zerglings to get in there, because not only did he see that there's no lair coming up yet, he sees the timing of the Baneling Nest, but also he sees the amount of drones that are coming out here. So he's got a very good read on exactly where Ayasonu is. These 2 Banelings trying to come in here and snipe some drones, but
solid little defense here on the drone part. But, you know, losing a queen definitely hurts, and these Lings are still kind of poking forward, being annoying. The Spine Crawler is like that defense to anchor down the front, but before it finishes, it's useless.
Yeah, so nice little defense there. Lost that queen, but pretty even in terms of drones, not too far behind. Ayasonu's only got 2 queens of his own. And
we have a lair on the way now for both players, starting up pretty closely to one another. The Roach Horn coming in for Ayasonu as well, so obviously probably going to try to time that tech out to go for maybe +1 with this Evolution Chamber, and then Roach speed naturally when the lair is complete.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You can almost see into the mind of the programmer, especially when they put that Roach Horn right next to the Evo Chamber. We understand the build, but when it's right next to each other, it's like it's linking up in his brain.
You're thinking about it in your mind. You're like, oh, I want Roaches, obviously I want upgrades.
It's like, this is my idea. I'm putting them here. Yeah. It's in that one area of his brain, and now he's putting it on the map.
That's like as a Terran, you always notice, or like as a Protoss, you notice like oftentimes that second forge will be by your Twilight if you're going for like some sort of like transition, or your armory is always by your second engineering bay. But it's honestly not super crazy to start this game. Pretty straightforward. We have that Roach attack on the way for Ayasonu. He's getting Roach speed. We kind of talked about this already. TLO getting the Ling speed. Kind of interesting, mostly because, okay, it's going to be a Spire play. I was going to say, I'm like, don't really see how Zerglings are going to be relevant versus a Roach-based army, but ideally in this scenario, he's going to get up to Mutus without dying to a Roach attack. which is always that's always the tricky part of ZvZ, is getting to mutas without dying to the counterattack.
Yeah, and he's going to try to send out these links here. He's going to have speed in a bit. Definitely wants to send these into the base and try to get some scouting information done. Just try to get an idea of what's going on. Unfortunately, he does move them on attack command and run into Iasona's own Zerglings there, so not going to have that much information. Now getting out in the middle of the map, trying to deny some of these links.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is you see those spine crawlers as well, and Iasonu, if you realize what's going on here, obviously the roaches can't shoot up, so they're not going to be very effective against mutas, but most of the time you see this kind of trigger that really huge swell, and he has only been building roaches for quite some time, and your goal is just walk across the map, kill your opponent before the mutalisks get out, or at least do crippling damage while you get spores back home, so you just have a massive lead, and your opponent really can't do much else. So
yeah,
that's where things get most tricky, and that's why we see TLO is constantly adding more spine crawlers. That is your linchpin to hold the defense together.
Exactly. This is the timing that Iasono is trying to hit here, but I'm not sure if he's going to hit it on time. Already 9 mutas on the way. 4 spine crawlers are easily going to be up in time, and he's not even moving just yet. He's trying to get this massive roaches, hide it from TLO for as long as possible, but at the same time, I feel like TLO is going to be ready for it.
Yeah, he's got enough spine crawlers, and the overlords can see this army. And the biggest thing is that this attack is going to be hitting kind of as the mutas come out, but a good number are already on the map, so he can start wailing away. By the time these roaches hit that wall of spine crawlers, you're already seeing quite a bit of them getting whittled down. First roach is going to die, and then of course, just the way the mutalisks glaive attack works, it's already bouncing and getting damage spread across the roach army.
Look at this. This is a ton of roaches. Even some banelings in the mix, trying to get those hits on the clump of roaches. Those 3 extra spine crawlers are not yet done.
I mean, he's trying to push forward, but the banelings coming in, even just that little bit of splash, they don't do bonus versus the roaches, but if they hit enough of them, they might be able to push this back. The queens have come down, and this roach attack has been routed. TLO now can go back across the map, put on more pressure, and most importantly, prevent a 4th base from being planted because Iasonu does not have any mobile anti-air.
Exactly. TLO has total map control, and even though he did have to sacrifice maybe 8 to 10 drones in defending that attack, he defended it with flying colors. He kills all of these roaches on the map.
One worker, Valdez.
Oh wow! I thought I thought he actually lost a lot more. So
that's pretty sick.
This actually makes him in a much better situation.
And he's just going to come dive right on top of this. I mean, you kill this spore crawler, and then the 3rd base is also going to be forfeit in this position. So queens are going down. Bates hit the drone. 17 workers dead, and TLO with a strong start in game number 1.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were expecting for this matchup. TLO definitely the heavy favorite here, really swinging the hammer in this game, making it look easy on that defense of Iasono's roach timing push there. There is no way Iasono is going to defend this 3rd base.
There's not much you can do in this position, especially since the spore's been broken at the front. The 2-base economy is not going to be anywhere near enough to pull you back from a position like this. It's like, okay, send the roaches across the map, try to buy some time for hydras to pop, but TLO, I mean, he's got the 4th base on the way. He can take the 5th to 6th. He can do whatever he wants right now.
You can see he's even being a bit safe, like bringing all of his mutas back just in case for the defense. He's still got a lot of those spine crawlers left all over. He keeps some of the mutas back to kill the 3rd base too.
I do like the burrow play by Iasonu though. He's keeping the roaches alive, but also now his burrow moves, so he's going to try to be a little bit more annoying to TLO. He's getting a drop overlord. He's presumably do some sort of other form of harass, but he's got what he needs to defend against this. Wow.
Look at this spine crawler forest. There's no way he's getting through that.
Get out of my house. Picks off the overseer as well. Like, I don't know. Everything that could have gone wrong this game for Iasonu has gone terribly wrong.
And now he's essentially trying every single desperate strategy that he possibly could. He's like, well, what if I snuck some roaches in? And now he's like, well, maybe I'll drop them in.
Yeah, he's like doing all this stuff, but it's like trying to get his 3rd back. Whereas he needs to be taking like 3 bases and somehow getting, I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, there's just not enough. The mutas come in. It's like, Hydra's okay. They're good. They're not terrible, but the Hydras are going to die. The mutas can go to the other side. The Lynx can kill the spore crawlers. TLO, he's got us in the bag.
Easily taking out all those hydras. We do have this roach drop in the main, trying to do some damage, but I think that TLO is going to end it here once and for all. GG. TLO will take game number 1.
Solid game number 1 performance. Opening up with the single defensive spine is never
very nerve-wracking, but taking that first map I think is going to be huge for TLO's nerve.
Yeah, confidence. Confidence is key, especially in a strategy game like StarCraft 2. Stay focused. We're loaded into game number 2 on Laralac Crest. Spawning in the northwest position as the Red Zerg player, we have Invictus Gaming's Iasonu. Smart college boy.
Yeah.
Really good English.
And up at the top right, the Blue Zerg from Team Liquid, it is TLO.
Naturally very good English speaker as well.
Yeah.
He comes out to all these events, TLO, for so long. He's never needed a translator. Really impressive. And we do have a pool first opening with a super fast gas. So TLO's getting... This is like creative in this sort of sense where it's like, okay, he's picked an interesting point. He's up 1-0. He's going to make that choice to commit to something that could be, you know, possibly a really fast game 2 victory.
Yeah, and once you get that first game that you just dominate your opponent, the second one's a really quick game. That's turning right into a quick 3-0. These two overlords are going to see each other.
This is so nice for TLO, especially because
really helps him out.
He can get to his opponent's base really fast, but on the other hand, it can also hurt him because this should make it a lot easier for Iasonu to scout him since he'll know the natural is so late. Like immediately in his mind, and I guess maybe depending on the builder, I'm not a Zerg player, but we have Lings already on the way. The pool is just not even halfway done yet for Iasonu.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if TLO can get some damage done. I wonder if he's going to try to commit to canceling the natural here, or at least doing some damage to the natural of Iasonu, or is he going to go straight into the main, try to get those drone kills, that economy damage? The Overlord here does see the Lings, so Iasonu will be preparing heavily for this.
So this is where you want to throw the creativity out of the window, right? TLS needs to go in and get a ton of damage done with this. The Lings are only just now starting for Iasonu. That Baneling nest is so fast. Don't do anything weird. Don't try to Baneling snap the larva. Kill the Lings, kill the drones, Lings around the Queen, and take a game 2 victory. But of course, if you can't do that, if you can't commit and get a lot of damage done, this game falls apart real quick.
Yeah, you see TLO here really committing to taking out this hatchery here, not even going to go into the main yet. He has that Baneling nest on the way. He knows it's going to be ahead of Iasonu, so he's going to morph it out of the vision possibly here of Iasonu and just try to catch him off guard. We already see these 2 Lings trying to get out of the vision, maybe morph into Banelings.
Yeah, that speed upgrade is about to finish as well for TLO, so this is going to give him the ability to get quick surrounds on his opponent's Lings. Speed has not even started for Iasonu. He desperately needs Banelings. Banelings are the key to defending against this, but at the same time, that production flood is going to come a lot faster from TLO because he has speed.
Yeah, and Iasonu now has identified that Banelings are out on the map, so is going to begin trying to snipe them here with a couple of Lings, do a bit of damage, and he really needs to get the spread, and he needs those Banelings out here, as you were saying.
Yeah, so the 2 Banelings are morphing in the mineral line of Iasonu, but the Banelings are just going to come right in for TLO. He gets some of the Lings, but not able to get the Queen just yet. These Banes actually aren't getting that great hits for TLO.
Yeah, they really aren't. Just a couple of the Lings. He now gets a surround on a couple of these Queens. He is going to take one of them out, but there's Banelings out here now for Iasonu, so he's forced to go into the main.
I think his only choice is to just try to focus on a few drones, which is also weird because TLO is building drones back home, but he's behind that hatch, so the larva production is significantly limited for him.
Yeah, he really needs to get some more damage done here. He does have the speed advantage over Iasonu at this point, and I don't really know what he can do. There's just too many Lings, too many Banes.
You see that head shake by TLO there. He's like, I really didn't get what I wanted done with this. The drone count is very close, but just having that extra hatchery is so much more larva from the Queen Inject because he didn't kill all the Queens either.
Yeah, now this extra hatch out of TLO is kind of that defeatist hatch. He's like, okay, I feel like I already lost, but I got to play from behind now.
Just looking at this supply, like, Iasonu, he's got that expansion, tries to come up here and snipe a Queen, and just does barely get it. So, I mean, it's something.
Yeah,
but
trades 4 Lings for a Queen. Not bad, but definitely not going to pull him that much closer in this game here. Iasonu, he's definitely got a good idea of where TLO is at.
This is that moment where TLO needs to break out, the green playbook of creativity if he wants to bring this game back. Because in a straight-up macro game, he is behind.
Where's that burrow? Where's the burrow of Banelings here? Let's go for that.
Yeah, what was Roddy saying on the desk? Get like 2 Overlords who drop Banelings while burrowing them. I think that's probably the best way to do it right about now.
I mean, if Iasonu is going to stick on Lings, which he's not, as we do see a Rotoran coming up here, I mean, possibly if you get a giant hit with maybe 4 or 5 Banelings underneath the entire pack of Roaches, it could be okay. But you really need the money hits if he's going to go for that.
30 Banelings while they walk all the Roaches over them, and then they kind of survive with 10 health, and then you lose anyway. Or you just morph them into Ravagers and they get all their health back. That also helps.
Yeah, well, Ling's going to come in here, get a scout on exactly what's going on in the base.
The drone! Oh! Well, look at that.
Drone's just barely getting that one before it gets into the main.
So if we look at just where the tech is set up, the Roach Horn's now on the way for Iasonu, so it'll be done reasonably soon. He is getting Ling speed, which makes me think that he might be looking to commit just like some sort of Ling Roach or Roach Ravager Ling, which for all intents and purposes should be able to do a lot because he's been ahead for so long in this game now.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to have the advantage in units here. What he really needs to be careful about is just not running his Lings into all of the Banelings. We're having some lag in this game, so TLO is going to pause it here for just a sec.
Yeah, is making sure everything is okay. Of course, there's a lot on the line here. Definitely not one of those games where you're like, you know what, let's just play with like, you know, a bunch of extra spikes for no reason at all. So hopefully it's all good in this game. Not too long of a delay here for TLO.
Yeah, seems like TLO, I mean, when you're playing with that kind of lag and you're behind this much in a game, it can be a little bit tilting, can make you a little bit uncomfortable. So even getting a pause here because of a legitimate reason is nice for TLO, just to get his breath, say, okay, calm down.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like it's, you know, it's almost like the tactical pause, right? Because you got Iasona, who's probably in his mind like, all right, I've got this game in the bag, like I should be able to do this, but then, you know, you don't want to lose focus because, you know, you have to just recognize the position that you are in this game. So looks like they are ready to go. Thank you, Daniel. Very much. Thanks, Daniel.
Not sure who that is, but shout outs to Daniel, the unpauser of IEM.
the master of
the
time.
official unpauser.
He is our official time wizard here at the Intense Stream Masters.
So Ling's going to come in here and get a nice little scout. Sees no lair. Sees also the Roachhorn is out here for TLO. I think Iasona at this point should be feeling very nicely about this game. You were talking about this. He just needs to execute this one attack.
Yeah.
And that's about it. This game is looking very good right now for our Chinese player.
Like I said, unless, I mean, TLO isn't building Banelings either. He's only got a few. He doesn't have 30, nor does he have DeBurrow, which makes me exceedingly nervous. This should just be really hard to stop, honestly. He's got to eat all the Corrosive Biles. He's got to split against every single Baneling.
He's relying on
probably run up a wall, Matrix style, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's relying on a lot of Ravagers here, TLO is. He wants those money Corrosive Biles. He's getting some of them. Wow,
yeah, the Bane trade.
Baneling bust there, and now they're kind of even right now in supplies.
The buffer there created by the Corrosive Bile is really important, and TLO is making less units work for him just by using those Corrosive Biles. Actually exceedingly impressive. Suddenly the supply is getting a lot closer. TLO.
Yeah, all of a sudden this is evened up, and TLO's like, okay, I guess he can take a third base after that.
He flipped the game on its head with those Ravagers. So the worker count is still favoring IA, which was for me the biggest thing to worry about. But now TLO has just got this firepower from the Ravagers. Defensively, Ravagers are so sick.
Yeah, the Ravagers did a really nice job, but one thing I wasn't really looking at there was I think Iasonu had maybe 5 or 6 Banes, and he was running them up the ramp, and I think they may have traded with a couple of TLO's Banes. So that was definitely another fantastic trade for TLO in that fight. And immediately, we were talking about this game possibly being over, but now it's very, very even.
I mean, suffice it to say, TLO did not do anywhere near as much damage as he wanted to with that opening, because that's usually like a game-winning type push or game-losing type attack. But, you know, he used the Ravagers in a really nice way to pull things a little bit closer. And I still think also the drone count, is it still favoring IA right now? TLO is catching up. So that's like, you know, the thing that's supposed to make it super difficult is that IA has had an income lead for so long, and that's why I'd say, you know, TLO has been in this sort of behind spot. So Iasano maintains a small lead, but nowhere near as substantial as having the extra hatch when your opponent's Ling Bane all-in fails.
Yeah. For sure. We do see a bunch of Speedlings coming over here trying to break the back rocks. We already saw TLO trying to do the same to his opponent. I think he's got those to about half health here, but I don't think TLO has noticed this coming here, so actually he does now. So he's sending some Lings over.
He's all over it. Those Lings are like busy working on the rocks to get caught in the corner. Most of them are killed. But you know what else, though? This is another big thing that's important to note. Iasanu does have a very nice advantage in terms of this lair tech, which is something we haven't pointed out. TLO has only just finished his lair. Iasonu has Roach Speed about to finish. His +1's going to be done a lot faster. TLO starts Roach Speed, cancels it, starts Aspires. So he's like, okay, this time around, I don't think it's going to be as simple as just building a couple spines, because this isn't Dust Towers. There's 2 places that Iasanu could push from. And
yeah, and you could tell Iasanu is already thinking about breaking down those rocks and already thinking about the way he can abuse this map here.
Yeah.
So we do see both players have a nice vision of how many drones exactly are being made at their base. Another very important thing, just to know where your opponent is at in terms of his economy compared to his army. You don't want to be caught off guard if he's not making a bunch of drones and a huge swell of roaches come out and kill you. So that's pretty nice for both these players. Now TLO's getting the Spire and the Speed and the +1. So he's kind of covering all of his bases here.
yeah, and I think that's, I mean, if he's behind, he doesn't want to play the same style Roach versus Roach with that. He still has the option to use those tools if he wants, but a handful of Mutalisks can really do a great job of picking off your opponent's Ravagers or shutting down, you know, any type of game-ending push that he might try to make, you know, were he to, for example, max out. So big things here. With the Lings on the map for TLO, I think obviously he would love to get a cancel on that 4th base. It's not super far along for Iasonu, but TLO is aware of it. And that's going to be the big target here, because if Iasonu pushes across the map and commits a lot, TLO with the backstab could shut that down, and then he just needs to trade even, because we have 7 Mutalisks on the way now.
Yeah, 7 Mutalisks, and Iasonu has not scouted this, and it looks like Iasonu wants to put on the pressure here, trying to break down these rocks. There's no way he can attack in there after he breaks the rocks, though. Look at this concave for TLO. No way that's going to work.
Yeah, this is one of definitely the advantages of that position on the map, is that the Ravagers, it's like, you want to fight through there, you're basically going through the hot gates of Sparta, man. It's not going to end well for you. And there's a huge number of roaches, but I mean, the Mutalisks are coming up, and this is where TLO throws that, is like, you activated my trap card, bitch, you didn't see this coming, nerd. And now the Ravagers die, the single most important unit in the game right now for ZvZ. And then TLO fights Roach Ravager versus Pure Roach. He's got a lot more capability, firepower with this army.
And look at this, Iasonu is caught in a weird place. He's like, should I fight now? Should I just go back?
Yeah.
I'm sustaining so much damage out on the map to these mutas.
Yeah, exactly. Sustained damage from the mutas. They just constantly attack with impunity. It's like, what are you gonna do? The roaches can't climb on top of each other.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Iasonu's response here is just to make more mutas, and I'm not sure if TLO has spotted that tech, but this is going to be 13 mutas, 14 mutas now out of nowhere.
14 coming out within a short span of time. How many Mutalisks does TLO have? He's at a pretty even number, to say the least. Of course, as mutas rally across the map, I guess the defender's advantage comes back into place for the Mutalisks, even with as fast as they are. But that Ravager count is also going to assist a lot. Don't kill your own mutas, TLO.
Yeah, this is kind of strange because a lot of these mutas now for TLO are very, very low. The corrosive biles need to hit for TLO, but they're not hitting. Nice micro here by Iasonu, but he's definitely losing the ground fight here.
TLO has taken a massive supply lead. Even if he loses the Mutawars, he's now managed to get on top of the drones, which is the cash money position, to be able to take in a ZvZ, the natural expansion, under fire. And he's going to smack down the larva, canceling a few of the building Mutalisks with his corrosive bile at the same time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. At the same time, he's in here at the 4th base, denying any mining. 14 drones have gone down, and that's going to be it. GG.
TLO. That is exactly the kind of decision making that I think is so nice to see in a ZvZ. TLO opens up, super aggressive, fails miserably. He barely kills a queen after the attack has already failed.
Yeah, well, either way, guys, we are going to jump into game number 3 here.
Great, what a weird series. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think anymore. We're running into Orbital Shift Guard. In the top right, the red Zerg player tied 1-1. It's Invictus Gaming's Iasonu.
Must be feeling pretty happy after that win, I suppose.
That's
not the most standard way to win a game.
I don't know what you think to yourself when you lose pretty much everything that you have and then your opponent